So, lesson one when going on a long road trip, make sure you have your razor. That's why I look like a bushman, and this is why I make sure I shave, because I don't think I look good with a beard. In fact, I know I don't. I used to like how I looked with a beard. I used to have the goatee, because it was the 90s, everybody had a goatee. You know, it wasn't just evil characters in Bond movies. Or Kevin Nash. But I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. I was going to do a video when I got home. I was totally up. I was like, all right, I'm going to do a video when I get home. I was thinking that during this morning. And then traffic hit. We went to Centralia, Oregon, is where we ended up watching the eclipse. We didn't go to Salem because Salem was too far north. Centralia was as close as we could get to the median line, which is for the longest period of time watching the eclipse. So we watched it. Yvonne stuck around with the special glasses on that the president didn't know to wear.
Special glasses.
Well, they're eclipse glasses. All you can see with them is the sun. So we had her eclipse glasses. She watched everything. So right up to totality, and then all the way until the moon had gone out from in front of the sun. And then we hit the road, and that was at about 12 o'clock noon. It is now 12:15 at night. It's just 12 hours. My brain is fried. I can't find the right words for things, and I know I'm spitting out the wrong words. So as much as I would love to do a Pittsburgh Penguins 1992 revisiting, I can't. I'd like to thank you guys for being active while I was away. I definitely brought back some interesting stuff. We got this book while we were up at Mount St. Helens. And then we got this one as well. For the youngins on the channel, when I was 7, Mount St. Helens blew up. And I remember, that was on a Sunday, and I spent that whole day watching. Just watching TV. Watching that eruption the entire day. I didn't want to watch anything else. I didn't want to listen to anything else. When all of the pictures of the mud flows and everything came in, I was fascinated, horrified, and just drawn to it. That's 37 years that I have been waiting to go to Mount St. Helens. I was enthralled with it then. I am enthralled by it now. There are very few things in this world that I would say I have a passion for as much as hockey. My family here and this mountain are there. Just knowing that I was at the spot where this took place is humbling. Being in the presence of that mountain is humbling. Realizing you're exactly where all of this took place is jaw-dropping for me. You can still see where the blast sheared the soil off some of the mountainsides. That it's just bare rock. And when you realize that it was all forested for the most part, other than whatever Weyerhaeuser was digging out of there, it's something to see. The one thing that you notice when you're on your way in is that they've reforested some areas, and they look really weird because all of the trees are uniform. Tree planting in Canada and the States seem to be done completely differently. When tree planting is done in Canada and that area grows up, you can't really tell that it didn't happen naturally. In the States, in these areas I saw, yeah, you could really tell. It was really obvious that these were planted by people, and it just looked really weird. It was really, really strange going in, because I had wanted to see, I know I had watched a 10-year documentary on it. I used to have an 8-hour VHS tape that was just Mount St. Helens footage and stories from it. And I used to watch that all the time. And one thing that was on it was Weyerhaeuser at the 10th anniversary discussing how they were helping nature out by putting these trees in. And they just saw that they were just giving a helping hand and they expected nothing in return. Well, of course, they plan on logging up there. That's the big debate that was going on that mountain before the 1980 eruption was how much they were allowed to log. And they'd already logged parts of the mountain that they knew trees would never grow back. So I'm sure if it was a native legend, the native legend would be that this mountain had been logged. The mountain got angry and it just exterminated the trees as far as it could see, because that's how it would look. But anyways, that was fascinating and fun. The eclipse today was, I recorded it for you guys. The problem is, on my phone, it looks awful. You can see that it's getting darker, and it was really, really weird. When you still see the sun in the sky, without those glasses, you still see the sun in the sky, and it looks exactly the same. But you look around, and even though there's shadows in the same spots, and the sun's still in the sky, everything around you is starting to get darker, and lights are coming on. And it feels like it's no different than when you're in a room and the light is slowly dimmed. But it looks all the same. And then all of a sudden, totality. Although I did notice when the sun was a sliver, I took the glasses off. I took the risk. Yvonne did too. We took that risk. I know you're not supposed to, but it was just too beautiful to watch that last part of the sun being clipped off, and then totality. There's the corona, there's Mars, there's Venus, there's Mercury. Done, done, and done. I didn't see Mercury. She did. Apparently the kids did. Awesome. And then about 11 hours on the road. It was supposed to be a 6.5 hour trip, and it took 11 hours. It was just as much fun as it sounds. We kept seeing the same vehicles, which tells me that we were all taking the same trip, because our phone would send us around I-5, so it'd be like, all right, get off I-5, go out and around roads out in the middle of nowhere. Here's a bunch of wheat fields, here's some orchards. And it sort of felt like our phone was saying, you're not going anywhere, so we're going to give you the most scenic route possible, because you're not going anywhere. So here's some really cool scenic stuff. We're going to send you on touristy places. But I'm done. I'm really exhausted. So I thought I'd talk to you guys first, not out of a sense of obligation, but because this channel means a lot to me too. And the Mount St. Helens stuff, we spent... How long did we spend up there?
Oh, almost a day.
Because we started out from the hotel at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we got to the first station at 8:30.
It was fairly early, and we ended up leaving.
And we were up the mountain on Johnson Ridge until I think 5 after 3 or 10 after 3.
Yeah, something like that.
So that was...
Got down to the bottom at
yeah,
5.
and that was an 8-hour day, and it to me it felt like that. It just I was in awe. I kept walking away from everybody and just staring at the mountain. I would just catch a view of the mountain from a certain angle, and it just we want to go up there again. There's a lot of hiking trails up there. We want to go up there again when we don't have kids, so we don't have to worry about anybody falling to their death or anything, because there's some trails that are right on cliff faces. Cliff faces is probably putting it to the extreme. Like, we're not talking like, Wile E. Coyote.
But they are slidey.
But yeah, it's a situation where if a kid falls off of this trail, they're going to roll like Princess Bride for quite a while.
Pain to get them back up.
Yeah, it would require forest rangers and embarrassment, and we'd probably have to pay for it. So, not doing that. So we went, I don't know, 500 feet out, 300 feet out on one trail.
Oh, we went a distance, yeah.
And then we went back. Because I thought, no, we're going around a corner now, and I don't want to go around that corner. We don't know what's around that corner. I don't know what kind of steep we're looking at. Malachi has this thing about running far ahead.
Yeah.
And I didn't want his sister running after him, and I didn't want kids to start arguing. And they were already starting to argue on the trail. I'm like, yeah, we're going back. So it would be great if her and I go back together. And if I get a really good camera between now and then, be awesome to document that, wouldn't it? With a GoPro, oh, that would be fun. So yeah, it was the kind of weekend that you guys have been telling me I should take some time off. View counts are low right now, but I'm very impressed with the fact that my subscribers are very diligent, and I can tell that the hardcore audience, and some of them aren't subscribers. Okay, so I will say to non-subscribers, I know some of you guys are non-subscribers, you just watch everything. in terms of revenues, it's funny. I watch as the actual view counts drop on when I do stuff like this, but the actual revenue doesn't drop a lot. So let's say view counts drop 50%, maybe I'll see revenues drop 20, 25, which tells me that I've got a lot of people who are watching videos and they're not skipping advertisements. Maybe they're clicking on banner ads. Whatever they're doing that helps along the way is awesome. So that's good to see. And I always figure anytime that, I do this kind of thing, maybe people who are fans of the channel will go back and look at older videos. There's a lot of stuff to check out. I really need to go through and make lists. I know I need to make lists. I've already called my workplace and said I won't be into work tomorrow because I'm supposed to start work in less than 4 hours. That's not happening. My brain does not function right now. And 3 hours from now, getting up to go to work and putting her back in a van 3 hours after 12 hours of driving, we can't walk, much less imagine me working right now. So tomorrow I will do some work for you guys. I'm going to make some videos. I'm going to have some fun. I don't know how I could ever get any of this in here. I know there's the one guy who keeps leaving a comment on every video that in 2 to 3 years the Canucks will be better than the Leafs and the Oilers. It's ridiculous. In 2 to 3 years, the Canucks will probably be better than the Vancouver Giants. But the only thing that blows more than the Canucks is this thing right now. And I say that as a Canucks fan that wants them to blow for at least another year. And it is the only time that I've ever wanted a group of guys to blow. So, what are you laughing at over there? And it's as a Canuck fan who understands this needs to be a proper rebuild. You got to tear it down and build it back up. That the team's just got to be terrible. So I have no problem with that. If they bottom out and they get Svechnikov or they get Dahlin, great. If they don't, okay, and we go with the number 5 draft pick or whatever we do, and I have faith in Benning to do whatever he needs to fix things. That's how tired I am. I have faith in Jim Benning right now. So I'm going to catch some sleep. I'm going to make sure when this is posted it does not notify subscribers so that you guys don't get the ding. You guys that have the notification ding, you're not going to get that with this video because I know it's the middle of the night everywhere other than in Europe. In Europe, people can be like, why didn't I get the ding about this? So, I'm just trying to do what I can to be decent to certain people. And I apologize to the rest. But anyways, it was tremendous fun. I highly recommend. I know I talked to Emily on Twitter about it, and she mentioned it on the video as well on here. Emily, you ever get a chance to go here, you go here. Anybody who has ever had any interest in going and seeing what has been called Fire Mountain for yourself, it is awe-inspiring. And by the time we left there, all 3 of my stepkids were very interested in Mount St. Helens. And they wanted nothing to do with it at the start of the day. Start of the day it was, why are we doing this? I don't want to go up there. Oh, why does Shannon want to go up there? What's up there? Kind of like, it's just a mountain, who cares kind of attitude. And then we get up there and they're hearing about what it did and how it blew everything up.
This is the best vacation ever.
And then, yes, then they were very happy. And then we went today and we saw the eclipse. And this was just a weekend of the awe-inspiring power of Mother Nature and the beauty and the destruction and the creation that follows. And
science holiday.
Whatever this does for my brain, it can only help this channel. Doesn't help me right now because I'm burnt out from yelling at kids for the last 12 hours. Why are you fighting? Why? Stop it. I got to the point where it was just like, I don't care. Everybody zip it. Everybody zip it. Don't care. I didn't care. And I turned all the music down and I just faced the back of the van and waited for anybody to move so I could yell at them. I did that for 15 minutes and then it went really quiet because I had enough. That's it. And you can't threaten to turn the van around when you're going home. I swear, we'll go right back to Oregon. No, not back to Oregon. Oregon was nice. Some fun snack treats down in Oregon that you can't find in Washington, which is weird. And their deposit on bottles and cans that are only pop and bottled water. That's weird. That's strange. So there's strange things in every state. And as soon as we're crossing into Oregon, and it says helmets are required in this state, apparently they're not required in Washington, because if they were, you don't need to put that warning on your sign. And we don't see that when we cross Sumas to go into the States. We don't see a warning. We've got to wear a helmet because we wear them in BC. So,
Our phone said welcome to each state. That was fun.
Yes. Every time you cross in another state, the phone says welcome to. And for Oregon, it looked like a lumberjack. And for Washington, it was, what did I tell you it was?
Appleseed.
Like a Johnny Appleseed kind of looking thing. It was kind of fun. Anyways, I will be sure to get back on the hockey train tomorrow and discuss all of the things that have been happening, and also to get back into the revisiting. And we will continue all of the series. I may start some new series. I may start some fun stuff tomorrow. My Pittsburgh jersey is waiting for me at that post office. I'm not allowed to break in and get it in the middle of the night. The police will not show up, and I can't just say, I'm the hockey guy. It's not like they're going to go, we're sorry, Mr. Hockey Guy, sir. Go ahead, grab whatever you need. We'll wait here and be on the lookout for whoever. No, that's not good. I'm pretty sure that's a federal crime because it's still stealing mail because it hasn't technically been given to me yet. So, since I don't want to go to jail, I'm sorry I've let you down. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And what an amazing weekend. Like, just mind-numbing, awesome. And I need a day to sleep it off. But I'll be back with you guys earlier than you might think tomorrow, because we did get a good night's sleep last night and the night before. It's just been a long, long trip on the road. Exhausting. So I'll get my mental faculties back by getting some sleep. And I'll read and reread these books. One closing comment. I had a Mount St. Helens book when I was a little kid. And I wore it out. I read it so much the binding fell apart. Which was kind of heartbreaking because I couldn't just drag it around with just empty pages just flopping around. So I got rid of it. And now I've got 2 books to replace it. Only took me 25 years to buy 2 books to replace that one. But I did it. So thank you very much for watching. This has been fantastic. And this channel, you guys right here, thank you. Each and every last one of you. Even those who can't stand me. Because coming out of any sort of controversy, anything that's happened with this channel, it's come out stronger. So I even have to give thanks there too. And in terms of contest winners, I have got an address for one that I declared a runner-up for the women's jersey. The winner I haven't heard back from yet. I asked for an address, I haven't heard back from. I'm going to give it until the end of this week, and then the runner-up's going to get the jersey. So check your mailbox. You might find something was in there. And if you didn't get anything from me, don't worry about it. I'm still coming up with ways to pay back my subscribers. And I will be doing that in the coming weeks. So stay tuned, watch videos, and like and subscribe if you're just browsing around. And things are only going to get better from here. Thank you for your time watching this, and I'll talk to you again soon.